Welcome to the Inner Circle. Bienvenidos a Miami. I am your host, Charlie, with my best girlfriend, Melanie. Welcome.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
The glorious, beautiful day that is here in New York. It's been some beautiful days, and just looking at the weathers ahead in New York, anyways, it's just like it's gonna be beautiful. But it's also realizing, like, damn, it's really coming to an end summer. But it's been some beautiful days, and on this glorious, beautiful day, we could announce. Last week we hinted to it, but we could announce where Melly and I are going away. Because of course, there's no way we could not end summer without going somewhere. Who would we be? Melanie, where are we going, girl? How are you? How are you? And where are we going?
I'm great. I'm very excited. We are going to Miami. Oh, for a not the
that's why I have my shades, my hater blockers, my glasses. In honor of Miami and our trip to Miami, because it's been a very long time. Longer for you, over a decade for you, over 5 years for me. And we've been talking about it leading up to it, but
I haven't been back to Miami since 2009, and I feel like I keep having to remind you to tell you, because like I feel, I'm nostalgic about going back because I used to live there, but at the same time, I know that I'm going with low expectations because I know what was once the Miami I grew up in is not the same. So we'll see, but I'm excited. Can I elaborate on like who's going?
I mean, on my end, I'm going with you. I don't know. You can elaborate, on your end.
So this is a bestie / vacation. Emphasis on BAE. And I'm kind of excited because like I don't really do vacations like that. I normally travel with Charlie or I travel with friends. And, I have anxiety. I'm not going to lie. I do have anxiety. I know that that's something that I've always wanted to do. And I have in the past traveled with like significant others and partners and stuff, but they have been terrible. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. From a person who travels a lot, what suggestion or what advice do you have for anyone, not just me, but anyone out there traveling with like a partner or a significant other?
I think it is one of the most important things to do when you start dating someone. I will say, if you really like someone and you feel that energy between both, I do not think it's far fetched to be traveling within 2 to 3 months. I don't. I don't. It could be a short little weekend, depending where you are geographically. If you're in maybe California, a short little trip weekend to Vegas. For us in the tri-state area, New York specifically, we have so much options. We could do Atlantic City, we could do the Poconos, or we could do Miami. But I think it's very important because one of the things that they say is you get to know someone on a trip when you're away with them more than one day, like 2 3 days. That's when you really get to know someone and their personalities. You see more little quirks and things come out. So I think it's normal, and I advise to really take trips with people early on when you're dating, especially if y'all hit it off and there's that like strong chemistry. It's something I advise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then but go into it also excited. Don't be nervous, So what I think in between, y'all have already been dating, there's been dates, there's been hanging outs and stuff. So like I say, like, let the nervousness down and go into it like this is like an extended date. And when I say extended, obviously it's because I had to be spending a few days together in the same hotel room, etc., and doing things and such. But like, just go into it with excitement. With excitement, I will say.
I'm excited. I just, I get anxiety when it comes to traveling, because I like to be like very hands on and like we're gonna like I like to know what we're gonna do, but right now I'm like taking a step back and trying just being led, which that hasn't happened in a long time. So we'll see what happens. But I'm excited. I'm excited to do Miami with you. I feel like we've gone to so many places except Miami, and we both have lived in Miami in different times in our lives.
Yes.
So this is going to be very interesting and very fun. I'll give more information when we come back about where I'm staying and like hopefully I'm excited about where I'm staying. But I made a Google list of all the places I want to go eat.
Oh,
Like
no.
I'm not playing games. Like there are places, you know me, I love Cuban food. So any chance I could get a Cuban sandwich, I'm gonna get it.
No, yeah. I mean, I know I'm gonna be cooked for. Not just like I know
Um,
I'm gonna go out to eat and stuff, and I'm just gonna experience it. Like that's one thing I love about Puerto Rico because Puerto Rico, yeah, you could do a restaurant, but you could do like the kioscos and stuff. And I wish, like,
yeah,
obviously, in the States, so it's not like that, but you know, I'm looking forward to the little mom and pops. I'm sure I'm gonna be, you know, a discover or be shown like, you know, little small places with like good food and
right.
quality and not be so crazy expensive. One thing that I was kind of thinking about that I wanted to check out low key was Bad Bunny's restaurant in Miami.
Um, I forgot, Gecko or something like that. It's called.
Yeah, low key. Although we've
I
been in
can
Puerto
check
Rico
to
and we
see
haven't,
if
huh?
I can check to see if we can get reservations. It's just I feel like they're booked out well in advance.
Yeah.
We can see. I honestly, every time we go to Puerto Rico, I've always wanted to go to Lala, his
Yeah.
restaurant in Puerto Rico, and we've never even
Yeah,
had the
we haven't gone
opportunity.
the times we've been already since it's been open. But all in all, we're looking forward to Miami. We leave tomorrow. Um, and yeah, it's again, it's we will elaborate more when we come back next week on our trip and such. But if for both of us, it's been like a while and going back and again the ties, us being friends and still having the ties we've had to Miami as well. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, interesting, a lot of things. I feel a lot of things. I'm
Yeah,
excited. Plus, it's my last trip before
it's the last trip before you go back to the grind.
back to the grind. And
I've been like working obviously like these weeks since I've been back from Puerto Rico, but like I really feel like this month has been very like chill. It's been very like half a day. Granted, I'm not working half a days in case anyone from my job is watching or listening. But I feel like it hasn't been as busy and robust as normal. So it is nice to be able to take a vacation like twice in 1 month.
yeah,
Think about it.
it's a blessing. Listen, that's why a lot of people wonder and speculate and say things about our frequent trips. But listen, I've said it on this podcast too. What is this? 277 episodes plus all our bonuses, etc. I've said it before and I will continue to say it again. It's quality of life. It's called work-life balance. It's very important in this hectic, crazy-ass world we live in, stressful world, to enjoy ourselves, discover as much as we can of the world and of other people while we're here, because you never know when we're gonna be gone. Okay,
Amen.
so
Cheers.
yeah, cheers to that. And speaking of coming back from trips, Bad Bunny just dropped as soon as we came back from our Providence trip, which we're gonna talk about right after this. Bad Bunny just dropped on Saturday when we returned. Tita as his new single slash video from his latest album, Debí Tirar Más Fotos. Now, I text you right away about it, and I said like, "Yo, he could be so random with
Yeah.
the single choices." Like for me, my favorite song from Debí Tirar Más Fotos is Arrow. Like
It
that,
was great. I like Venda.
I hope he still releases it as a single from the last album, was Pedro Negro, or Fina. So like, and he didn't release those videos. He's been releasing a lot of videos, more videos from this album than he did from the last album. So with every video that he releases, it could be the last drop. We don't know, but if he still releases more, I really still have my fingers crossed for Ale, or at least I feel like Café con Ron has taken off. And has become a little more popular, especially with the residency, or at least where you at that PR. Since he did definitely bring a lot of people to PR. So
I feel like the perreo tracks are not going to have a video because I feel like what he's doing, if you notice, like all the songs that have come out have had some cultural significance to Puerto Rico. Like Vueltita, if you watch the video, you see like there are people trying to put.
no me
I
voy.
don't understand. What was the sign? What did it say?
So and I explained that yesterday to someone I was with when we were watching the video. I'm like, I love how even with the videos, he's still sending messages and it's still very on par with the message of the album. If you notice on it looked like my Chiquita, if you ask me, but it wasn't. But it looked, I'm like, is that my Chiquita? We were just there. But you see at one point some gringos putting a sign saying private property. And at some point, in the Huelita video, it's the natives and stuff in their beach, and you see one of the friends kicking off that sign, like, fuck it, I don't care if this is our island. But yeah, I don't know if you noticed that, but it said basically private property. So basically, here we are, we bought the island, this is our beach now, and this is private property. That was what the sign meant. And with each person that got eliminated from the musical chairs, you basically see kind of like of a backstory a little bit if you pay attention.
Yeah.
And another thing that I thought of it, and I wanted to mention it here, and is again very on par with Bad Bunny and maybe the Pisces thing. I don't know, but like I love musical chairs, and you know this because I'm obviously I work with kids and education and stuff, and I've sent Melanie countless of videos throughout the years.
Yep.
Me playing musical chair with the kids. It was one of my favorite games, like since Puerto Rico at birthday parties that I loved. And I'm very competitive when it comes to games, not life, but games. And I love music. So musical chairs is one of my favorite games. So to see it in the video was really, really dope. And I'm like, this is why I love Bad Bunny. It's like that Pisces connection that like.
I feel like the next song that he's going to release is going to be Lo que le pasó a Hawaii.
I'd be surprised, girl.
And you know why I say that? And I had to look it up.
Bookmark it in case it happens, y'all.
Bookmark this because a key date in Puerto Rican history includes November 19, 1493, when Christopher Columbus claimed the island for Spain. And then on 1898, when the Spanish-American War resulted in Spain's ceding to Puerto Rico to the United States. So basically, I would not be surprised if the next video comes out in November and it's the Lo que le pasó a Hawaii.
Or because it seems like he's been dropping singles every month. If you look and think about it, we could maybe get other singles, but girl, the fact that you just said that come November, it wouldn't be too crazy and to think that could be it.
Yeah.
And he's technical, and we know Pisces could be very deliberate and technical, number-wise and everything. I would not be surprised about that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be mad at that song either. That song is very emotional. I like that song. That song is like an emotional song. Like, I love that song. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at it because the video will have a lot of significance and history, obviously. I think he's trying to do more with his platform than just have like songs like perreal. So yeah, and I appreciate that. But speaking of the visual drop when we got back to Providence, we went to
Providence, Rhode Island.
One night only, one night.
24 hours in Providence is just enough. That's the sweet spot.
We made the best of it, and I had a good time. Like honestly, reminiscing and talking back about it. When we got back from going out Friday night, the banter and the fun and the laughs we had, me, you, and my dad. Excuse me.
I love your dad.
And I'm like, my dad really came in the room. We were just shooting.
Shout out to your dad for treating me like a princess.
Yes, he is the
He adores me. I'm going to buy him a Rolex. I promised him I was going to buy him a Rolex. Yeah, he's the man.
He's the hostess with the mostest. And Um, yeah, I love his plays. It was cool. It was cool to have, as you get older, you get more sentimental, and certain things mean more, and certain moments mean more, and you are thankful for those moments.
Mm.
So us coming back from going out and being, well, not you, so not you, because you maybe you were high on what is it, Advil PMs or whatever you or
Well, no, I should
emotions.
drink. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But me,
Awesome.
I wasn't drunk, but I was giggly. I was
You
giggly,
was.
giggly. And to come back and have that moment with my dad and just us laughing and shooting the shit and saying random shit like him saying that Chihuahuas are half rodent, and me the next day on my way back to New York seeing
Googled it.
and Googled it like I'm like fucking what is it what's that word, gullible me really fucking
Probably.
Googled it. You
You
know,
said rat.
yeah, like it was fun. It was fun. My dad's a funny guy. My dad is
There he is.
very. He's a Scorpio like Phaedra, and we know I love a Phaedra, and he's just naturally funny. Like the way.
Very funny, very entertaining, very knowledgeable. He's like a master of none. Like he knows everything. Talking about cars with him was hilarious. Like and then he's so like servicial.
Yeah,
It's so funny. Mel, come. I have different shampoos and conditioners you
he's
can use.
been, but that's my dad. My dad has always been like that since I was a little kid. Like honestly, I will admit this, and my dad's watching. These are things I can imagine an adult or whatever. But like, I remember as a kid, we used to get annoyed, and even my mom more. Where, because my dad's very that servicial, where like if someone needed their car fixed or their car was broken, we as a family could have had plans to go on a beach to, on a Saturday to the beach or, a family day. But my dad was that guy where he would help that person that needed help with their car or whatever. And sometimes we'll get annoyed because it's like now you're helping it and time's going by and we're like, what the fuck? My mom, and obviously me as a little kid, I will remember my mom's attitude and stuff. But my dad has always been that guy, like always a helpful, like that's the perfect word, servicial, since I was a little kid. That's been him. That's instilled in him. That's the person he is, and that's what's up. I appreciate someone like that, like a helpful person to everyone. That's my dad.
I had a great time.
It was dope. It was dope. And we were there celebrating one of my nephew's birthday. It was amazing seeing my nephews. The last time I seen all three of them was Halloween. So, and I living far away as an uncle, I feel like guilt sometimes that I'm not there with them a lot. And like sometimes that guilt of like, oh my God, will they forget about me or will they not feel that comfortable and close to me when they see me? But
Yeah.
being around them when I am around them, like, and them still being close and hearing them saying uncle and stuff, like my nephew.
Not them calling me Titi Mel. I was like, oh.
It's like it feels it's amazing. It's amazing. So
Yeah.
being around the kids and see my brothers again, although I'm thankful that I've seen my brothers a lot throughout this year too, in many different ways, whether it's them coming here or us linking up on a trip or whatever. So it's been a fruitful year with family. So I'm very thankful for it. So Providence was cool. We went out though, and we had some notes where we were, one of the beautiful things about living life is that we have this platform and then we could bring certain conversations and maybe other people could relate. But like we went out on Friday night after the festivities with the kids and such. And we went out to a club that I went while I lived in Providence or while I would visit Providence called Eagle. Rest in peace to Chris Harris, one of the people who created that club and that night and stuff. Eagle's still going, but I went out. It was you and I, and then we met out with some friends out. We met some new friends that we made. Shout out to those friends. And we started out at a bar. We ended up going to Eagle Friday night. And boy, oh boy, being at a certain age that we are, it's really starting to like hit sometimes. And I've already felt this way before in some instances. But to feel it more, and then especially in this setting where it's like, yo, these kids not only look young, like 18, 19, 20, 21, but they acted like they exuded it. Like
no, but like, wait, we need to set the scene.
Go ahead.
So when we walked up to the club, obviously we're all getting pat down. And when you go to the little booth to pay because they have a cover, I don't remember the last time I paid for a cover, but we're in Providence. When in Providence, there was a big sign that said anyone 21 or over pays $10. Anyone 21 or younger pays $20. And I said, wait a minute, they do teen night here? And our friend was like, yeah, they have like 18 and up. So I was a little reluctant about going, but nonetheless, I tried to be a sport. We went inside, and not only were we greeted by the stench of like teen spirit, but it also was like them listening to like music from our generation and like dancing around doing TikTok dances. I Charlie has a video of like my reaction and how I was.
And people reacted to that video.
Did they?
Yeah, Lisa was like her face. Shout out to Lisa.
I could not hide. Shout out to Lisa. I could not hide my emotions. I was just like, what is this? The last time I went to Eagle was probably in 2018 during New Year's, when we celebrated New Year's in Providence, and like it was not the same. It was not the same. Shout out Jay. It was not the same vibe. It was not the same crowd. It was way younger, and I just felt like so fish out of water. Now, what I will say is I give props to these young kids that, they have the stamina, the energy, the money to be out and going to clubs. I mean, who knows? And it was what? It was a Friday night. So that's cute that they all decided to go out with their friends and shit. From a fashion perspective, you can tell that, fashion is not first in the, like, it's not a priority when it comes to these clubs. I'm not talking about like on some Miami shit, like you gotta wear heels and you gotta wear nice shoes and you gotta like dress and look the part. It's nothing pretentious. It's the absolutely complete opposite of pretentiousness. But it was just funny to me because when we were at the bar before we went to the club, our friend asked us how we like living in New York. And I said, I love New York. I can't see myself living anywhere else. I will go visit other places, but I ultimately always want to go back to New York. And being at that club reminded me why I love New York, why I belong in New York, and why I can't see myself being somewhere outside of New York. Because, baby, that was a mind fuck. That really was. And I noticed like the difference between the young Gen Zs of New York City versus the ones in like different places, night and day.
Listen, I was out this weekend. I met who I thought was upper 20s, lower 30s, Gen Z. And are they even Gen Z? Maybe they're part of this new I don't know. Ended up being 24 years old. But he carried his essence, his energy, all that. He carried it like he was older. So I feel like there's definitely a difference between the crowd over here when I go out, because like Cardi B, that's been one of my anthems this summer. I've been outside this summer, okay? This has been one of the best summers I've had in years, honey. And I'm going to continue shouting it at the top of the mountains because it's been a fucking amazing summer that I'm so thankful for. But I've been outside. So I've been outside and I've been in crowds where it's like a mix. Even this past weekend I was out. I was like, oh, this time the youngest wanted to come out to this event.
But I just feel like
they carry themselves different. They look different. Speaking of the gays, obviously I've been more gay parties and stuff. So speaking of the gays, so yeah, like the crowd, the youngins over here don't give off what I experienced at the gay club in Providence Friday night.
I think it's like, two things can be true. I feel like there are a lot of young people in New York that are, working, grinding, whatever. They don't look, they're not as happy. I will give Providence credit. The kids in the clubs, and I'm sad to say that I'm calling them kids. I'm that age. But the kids in the clubs, they were like so excited and had so much energy and were just like dancing around with their friends, hunky dory and stuff. The kids in New York, when they're going to the clubs, they're literally on their phone, Snapchatting, like singing to songs. There's a difference whereas they're basking it in the moment. The New York ones are not doing that. They're trying to do things for apariencias. Like,
so let's get, yeah, we could give golf claps to that because that is true. I did notice that, although like I tried to like turn off the blinders and just be in the moment of who we were with.
mm-hmm.
But it's true. I feel like people at when we went out that night was more in the moment, basking, dancing, which is back in the day when I was with my friends. You know what I mean? Back in the days, it wasn't so much social media like now. But it's true. Even back in the day, it's cyclical. It's a cyclical thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure back in the day, it's true. Like
in our comments back in the day, like there were people, the older generation probably felt the same way when we were all younger.
Absolutely.
And I agree.
But I had beef with older gays like back in the day when I was in my early 20s. Like literally like back. No, I did. So I get it. It's cyclical. It's a cyclical thing. And it's part of life, but it's weird when you at the end of you're getting older.
For me, it was more so like, okay, I can give credit because like I love how they're outside, they're having fun, enjoying themselves. You can't get mad at that. But at the same time, I was just like,
it's not for us.
This is not for me. That's why I will say this till I'm blue in the face. I can't date someone younger than me.
And there's nothing wrong with something not being for you. It could be any vibe. It could be any vibe. It doesn't have to be club. Like there's, whatever instance, activity, whatever. There's some things that are not your vibe and your thing where you're gonna have fun and truly enjoy yourself. That's going to be fine. Like some things are not for you, but all in all, it was a great trip. It was a great trip. I always enjoy seeing my family, being with my family, making memories with my family, seeing my nephews. And I don't get to see them a lot. And that's like a guilt I have. So like when I do get to see them, I really appreciate it. So,
I will say something about the guilt part aspect. I feel like you're far, but you're not too far from a phone call. You're not too far for them to reach out to you. I don't think you should feel bad. And one thing that I do appreciate about this podcast is that they get to see you and like interact with you, so to speak, by you doing this. So this is a platform for them to see and get to know you from just like you talking and shooting the shit.
Don't make me cry. I've been emotional this past summer.
Well,
I'm not a great summer, but I've been very emotional this summer too. I'm not.
Yeah, it has been. Bitch, nobody cried more than I did. Okay, but I will say it's really sweet and very endearing to hear like that your nephew watches or like he knows who we are. I thought they weren't gonna know who the hell I was because you know me, I'm a fart in the wind, honey. But it was very cute and very sweet, and I can't wait to see them again. Yeah. And Chuck E. Cheese pizza, 10 out of 10.
Yes. Shout out to Chuck E. Cheese pizza. I always heard it was a shit like here in New York for my like people I work with. Now I know. I'm like, yes. And I only had like a slice or two, but I'm like, I'm about to just be going to Chuck E. Cheese down the road because I have one not too far from me.
Really?
Just take it for takeout. Absolutely.
Very expensive.
It's not too far.
The pizza.
I got Gizmo, and I love watching the pictures and the videos back, seeing Gizmo always, and even one of my brothers said Gizmo try to get in. Like Gizmo really is part of the family, and I love that my dad too warmed up to Gizmo and was like, he's such a good dog, and like how much Gizmo loves me and stuff. Like I really love that too. It's like we bonded about that, like him, like connecting with an animal because he had cats for years, so. And sometimes cat lovers could not really like dogs and vice versa. But, he's seen the love that Gizmo has for me. And he knows Gizmo's part of the family. Like, Gizmo's part of the family. But all in all, amazing Providence trip. I'm very thankful for it. I hope my nephews get to come over here because I already have itineraries. Like, I got shit bagged. I'm ready to go.
I got Harry Potter World, Lego World.
In New York, you could start on a dime. Okay. But moving on, real quick, Taylor Swift, finally, out of all the many men she's been with throughout the years we've known her being out, she's finally engaged to Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Thoughts? Do we give a fuck? Do we care?
Congratulations. I love this for her. We're both 1989 babies. I don't really, I love, listen, there are some songs that I like of hers. I'm not a big devout fan where I'm going to go see her in
I like
concert.
a song of hers.
Yeah, but like, I'm happy for her. I'm happy for love. Anyone that's in love and wants to get married, because I feel like the union of marriage now, it's something that's like not non-existent, especially for people our age. So the fact that they're getting
Yeah,
married is great.
yeah.
As
Do you
far as
think
Travis
we'll last?
Kelce,
I don't like saying that, but we are a podcast and we have to ask these questions. Do you think
yeah.
we'll last?
Do I think it will last? I
Mhm.
would hope it
He's
does.
a Sagittarius.
He's a Sagittarius or
He's
she's
a
a
Sagittarius. I don't know what he
what
is.
is he? Let me see. I think he's a Pisces.
No, he's not. He
I
is
think
a Pisces.
Travis
The
Kelce.
previous man she was dating was a Pisces. Some rocker guy. Some.
Oh no, he's a Libra, October 5th.
Oh.
And he's
Oh, they
35.
work. They work. They work. They work. They could work. They could work. Well,
I mean,
then again, Cardi B's a Libra and Offset is a Sagittarius. So,
well, they're a different breed.
but it could work. It could work. It could work. It could
I
work.
hope that they last. I mean, for their sake, they will have cute babies. And also, like, I know how much from her music, how much she's wanted to be in a relationship and a loving relationship and stuff. And she found her match, I guess.
Yeah,
So
but that's the thing, though. Sagittarius, and I've dealt with some Sagittarius, some that I've liked a lot. They give you this illusion that they want to be with you, and but then they also want to be free, and I don't
I
like.
don't think so. I think she's very honed down. I want to know her big.
Maybe men and women are different. Maybe Sag men and women are different, and obviously they are in some sense, women, man. But but speaking of astrology, we moved on from Leo season to Virgo season. And shout out to my well, first of all, shout out, and I think we already said it, but shout out to my nephew River, who we went to Providence for, Leo. But now we come into Virgo season. And shout out to my nephew Brandon. His birthday is today. Happy birthday, Brandon.
Oh, happy birthday, Brandon.
We love you, and you are such a love bug. You are
He really is.
you are smart. You have a bright future ahead of you, and I'm so proud to be your uncle. And remember, Grandma loves you even all the way from heaven. She will always love you and be with you. Okay, so I love you, buddy. Happy birthday. It is Virgo season, and with that being said, if Brandon, if you're watching, it's time for Astrology Circle about Virgos. Here you go. Virgo element is an earth sign. The quality is mutable. The ruler is Mercury. So when Mercury is in retrograde, the symbol is the Virgin. Virgos are straightforward and direct. They have amazing leadership qualities. Their weaknesses are perfectionists, overcritical. They could be very worrisome, and they can have shyness, which I'm surprised because Pisces can have shyness. Some of their strengths are loyal, analytical, kind, and hardworking. And I know many Virgos, so I know Virgos can be very hardworking. Some of their best compatibilities are within their own earth signs, Capricorn and Taurus, but also water signs, Cancers and Pisces. Some famous Virgos that we know of: Michael Jackson, one of the greats, Beyonce, and another great. May he rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. One of our own. Shout out to Byronique Barbie. Happy birthday, happy Virgo season. I know you're gonna be celebrating all month. And many more Virgos. That is your astrology circle for the Virgo season. Anything you have to say about our Virgo friends?
I like Virgos. I've dated a lot of Virgos in the past. Not my match, but they're cool.
They're actually Pisces opposite. So Pisces and Virgos could actually make a great match, but it could also be very contentious.
What's my opposite? Please don't tell me it's Gemini. Please, guys.
I think your opposite will be kind of like exactly of like your birth chart, like oppositely, like 6 months away from you. So for me, it's Virgo. So I think yours will be Leo's your opposite.
No.
That there's no fight, no contention against that statement.
No. No.
Definitely your
Never.
opposite. We know
I
that.
would have thought it was Scorpio.
It could be actually. What is 6 months to you? Is it Scorpio or Leo?
6.
It's
Yeah.
Leo.
I think I meant to, like.
It's Leo.
Yeah.
Which also, I don't want to bring it up, but someone who's on the cusp, I'm not gonna say no more. You know.
I don't know. We'll talk about that in the after show.
But real quick, Bravo news, Housewives news. There's a lot going on, girl, and I'm bringing y'all the T. Not my middle name, Terrell. Okay, so we already know that Real Housewives of Rhode Island is happening, is filming, and while we were in Rhode Island, we got exclusive tea from my brother. I'm not gonna mention his name because he's a private citizen, and we don't want the
He's
FBI
watching
against him. But one of my brothers gave us exclusive tea of them filming on Federal Hill, which I knew they were going to film on Federal Hill. Real Housewives of Rhode Island is coming, y'all. But that is not the only Housewives franchise coming. Years ago, I've been in the know of other Housewives locations that's been being scouted. Chicago, San Francisco, Nashville, and New Orleans have been very big bark word on the street. While I was in New Orleans this past summer for 4th of July, I heard from people over there that there's been some scouting over there. I heard it from my own ears from people I met. Now, some of my sources tell me that San Francisco, New Orleans, and between all those that I mentioned, San Francisco and New Orleans are a to go to. New Orleans is rumored to be picked up by Peacock as an exclusive. And there has been some, I guess, there's a cast formed. San Francisco is another one. And what they want to do right now is in the Bravo world is they already announced Rhode Island. So that's going to be the first one out of all these cities that they've casted for and have even shot for. Rhode Island, we obviously heard about. They're going to air Rhode Island. People thought that Rhode Island was a replacement for Jersey, but Jersey is still happening. What's going on is that if Jersey flops, depending on the cast they bring back, which we've already been hearing rumors about, that and Rhode Island, that they're comparing that is very reminiscent to early Jersey. If that takes off and the New Jersey flops, that's going to be the replacement for Jersey. You following? Now, after Rhode Island comes out and we hear about and we see how Jersey does, that's when they're thinking about rolling out these other cities like San Francisco, New Orleans, and then so on. So we will see what happens, but those are, you heard it here first, bookmark it because my sources are real. And with that being said, also, Karen Huger is coming out a little early while we're coming back from Miami. Karen will be coming out from the Slammer on September 2nd.
Slammer.
Well, that's where she was at. The Slammer. So she's coming out a little early because she was sentenced for 2 years, 1 year suspended. I guess she's been on some good behavior like Teresa Giudice was. And she's coming out a little early. So shout out for that because, you know, she'll be able to be with her family for the holidays. And, you know, that's very important. But mark my pretty little words, although Potomac just recently finished wrapping its 10th season 2 weeks ago, I will not doubt, and bookmark this too. Today is an episode of Bookmark because we're soothsayers over here. I will not be surprised if the cameras pick back up to see Karen coming out, and that is somehow going to be included in the season finale of season 10 of Potomac. Bookmark it.
Do you think that she's gonna come back as a housewife?
Season 11, absolutely, yes. Yes. And I already know from my sources that there's been scenes filmed this season where her on the phone with either Giselle or, you know, or I even heard like a race scene where Giselle was there and Ashley. So we'll see how it plays out and what ends up airing. But yes, because they filmed her this season on the phone with certain castmates. So when that happens, we know that's a setup of here's a fluff of because we're gonna welcome back season 11. It's a DUI. I mean, it's serious, but she didn't kill no one or steal Jen Shaw.
Right.
So she'll be back. But So those are that the Bravo News, the Bravo Tea, and the Real Housewives. Again, bookmark bitches because my sources are real. But now let's talk about something. Let's have a real conversation here. To wrap things up. I sent you a reel and I posted a reel on our Inner Circle Instagram page, which if you're not following us on our Instagram page, make sure to follow us. About group dinners and people going out. And when the dinner bill comes, it'd be $1,000. But one person ordered $60 worth of stuff, and then the main person saying so everyone could split it for 200 each. I know I know for a fact over 277 episodes, we've talked about going out for dinners and splitting bills and stuff. But yeah, it's a conversation that isn't an ongoing conversation because it's a prominent thing that continues happening, and it's a prominent thing that people have different opinions and views on and rules on going out with a big group and splitting the bill.
I gotta be careful what I say because I don't want it to be chopped and screwed for anyone else's benefit.
I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna go by mine. Listen, since an early age, when I was like 18, 17, going out with my high school friends, and we were in group settings, going out to the Chili's and the Applebee's of it all, and especially at that age, listen, I'm coming out with $50, and I know I only have $50 to spend to come to this good old Chili's that we all were saying, let's go out to eat. Let's go out to eat. When this bill comes and it's $300 because Little Miss Muffet over here ordered 3 appetizers, an entree, a dessert, and 2 drinks, and I ordered an appetizer and 1 Shirley Temple, that does not mean we're going to split a $300 bill. I'm going to give my exact what my bill was, my percentage of the bill of the tip, and the tax, which you double as a tip as well. So yeah, that's always been me.
So with me, I've never had the misfortune of, well, that one time that someone wanted to sit pretty and not fucking contribute because they thought they were on a fucking date. I've never had the misfortune of being in a big group where someone didn't give, what they were supposed to give. I feel like we are at an age at this point in our lives where it's common sense. If you contribute, if like you throw down and you buy an appetizer that's only $12, but everyone else is getting a bunch of drinks. Mind you, I don't drink a lot. I hang out with people that don't drink. And perfect example, because this happened in Providence. Me and the girl ordered like appetizers. You guys ordered drinks. And what we did was we said, fuck it, let's split it. I paid for one of your drinks and my appetizer. She paid for one of his drinks and appetizer.
No, she ordered a drink. She ordered a margarita.
True. But it was split in half because at the end of the day, like there was like the same equal amount of drinks.
It was.
So that is grown people shit. Now,
that's different. That's 4 people. That's
4 people.
4 people shit. And I experienced that where someone could just pick it up. It's 4 people. It's not a lot. That's
a group of like 5 or more people. If you have a person that only buys one small appetizer while you have other people buying entrees and buying drinks,
steaks and lobsters
and stuff, you have to. I feel like it would be my responsibility as one of the friends who's either buying a lot to be like, oh, so-and-so shouldn't really contribute that much because all they bought was this amount. You shouldn't put them in the spot. They shouldn't have to be put in a position where they're like, I'm only paying $15 because everything you guys got all this. That's not fair. I wouldn't be a good friend if I let the person have to vouch for and fend for themselves. So what I would say is probably say, little Susie cream cheese only bought a thing of chips and guac. She doesn't need to pay this amount. So take out her $15 portion or give her a separate check. Now, if you got people that have a problem with that, then you guys are fucking like egomaniacs because it's not that serious. So yeah. The one thing that I don't like, and I can't wait to have this conversation with with Bay is I
So
want to
I
know.
don't know where do you want to use.
I know, right? I want to know the whole. Remember a bunch of episodes back, the whole conversation about if I go out for my birthday and my man is there and my girlfriends are there, do you pay for my girlfriends too?
Wait, we had this conversation on the podcast?
Yeah, we did. We've had this conversation on the podcast, I think, with Byron E.
Oh. I don't know where I was at, but let's
I
have
don't want.
a
I'm gonna reiterate what I said in the past, and I'll say it again. I don't think it's my man's responsibility to pay for all my
nope,
friends. I feel
nope.
like if they all decide to split the bill and he's included in that, cool. But like, if some bitch wants to get drunk, because it's happened before, some girls get extra spicy and they're feeling their oats,
There's a
and
conversation
I
on it.
think that a man should be paying. Like, you're not. That's not your man. That's my man. So, in the event that were to happen, and I don't think I would even subject myself to be in a position like that.
Listen,
If I invite my man, I expect my girlfriends to invite their men, and then all the men should pay for everything.
mm-hmm. Or pay for your own shit. Listen, I've had a generous man in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think it's and maybe that person will still be around somehow. I don't think it's their responsibility to be paying for the whole group. I don't care if he has an amazing job and everyone knows that. It is not his responsibility. Right? He is there for me. Just like it's like my man, my man, my man. I agree with that, and that is a real conversation to be had. But that's the thing. It don't matter because it's situational. Because let's say it's these like sedity bitches, these Hollywood bitches, these rich bitches that know the man is rich, they automatically expect, well, he has money, he should pay. No, I don't care.
I
And
wouldn't alarm myself with bitches like that, but in the event that something were to happen like that, I just know that I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, babe, you should just pay for all of them because they're
oh
my friends."
no, that is a
No,
pressure on a spouse or on a significant other that should not be applied. You don't know if your spouse could cover fucking 10 bitches.
I mean, I know he could,
Fucking
but I just wouldn't want to put him in that situation because that's not fair to
10
him.
bitches.
He's not going at
You're
night.
not going to know 10 like that's a lot. No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
If I'm gonna bring my girlfriends and invite my boyfriend to be there, their boyfriend should be there
Listen,
too.
I don't give a fuck if we were going to McDonald's and it was 20 of us. I'm still not gonna fucking pay the whole 20 McDonald's bills. I could afford it, but I'm not. So that's that. And that's a conversation that we had. Like and for future people who that invite me for birthday dinners and things like that, I am paying what I'm paying. I'm getting to a certain age where I don't care if you think I'm a cheap bitch or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna be a cheap bitch because you see the life I live of traveling, and then y'all wonder why I travel because I'm not gonna be fucking letting y'all. I'm gonna drag me along y'all stupidity of paying equal bills of things when I didn't even order the lobster or the steak. No. This is why I'm
Block it.
smart. Okay, so with that being said, bookmark this. Today's episode should be called bookmark because bookmark this. Listen, I'm almost about to be 40, and I'm coming. The older I get, the more I don't care, and I will be straight up. I am not going. I dread group dinners because of that. I
Mhm.
dread group dinners, but I also don't think it's fair to like be paying splitting so you don't look cheap or whatever. No, if I ordered a
Yeah.
Sherman fucking little temple and my little wings, that's all I'm gonna pay for because I have a family, I have a life to live for myself. Okay, and with that being said, it's been a great episode today. It's been a great episode for real, for real. Today was a very good episode. I enjoyed our episode. It's our last episode of August. When we come back next week, it's basically like a new season. Otherwise, summer's not unofficially over for like 3 more weeks, but next week feels like a new season for us.
Yep. We're turning a new leaf.
The new season. So we'll be back at work, both of us. Be coming back with hopefully darker shades. And yeah, and with some more stories to tell. We want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. And thank you guys for dealing with my two self. This is the first time ever I've worn sunglasses on the show, but I've seen many other podcasters wear it. And I waited over 276 episodes to be a tool and wear sunglasses during an episode. So Forgive me. But we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe, share, all those good things. Rate, thumbs up. It's free. We appreciate you guys. See you guys next week where you guys are going to want to tune in because we're going to have more stories for you guys. We're coming back from Miami and much more. Adios. See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow, like, share, subscribe, everything the Inner Circle podcast, and catch us every Wednesday live at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook.